and we have a special guest to break it all down with us today. It's U.S. men's national team defender and Crystal Palace defender, someone who you know very well. Alabama's finest, the East Mamba, Chris Richards. Chris, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Good, good, good. Here with Jaydee Dyer. So, Chris, last time out, the U.S. men's national team made a run to the Gold Cup final with an inexperienced team. How did that experience help this group in preparations for this weekend's match?
No, I mean, I think it kind of reestablished this culture that maybe we had trouble finding for the last few years. Regardless of how many caps each player had, or regardless of how many times these guys have been in camp, it was cool to kind of just get together and fight for a collective cause. And I think with a few guys returning, not just from that camp, but also from the previous camps who have a bit more caps and experience, I think it's just going to be fun to see this team merge this weekend.
You talk about culture, the integration, of course, of those vets coming back into the team. I see Weah, Christian Pulisic, just to name a couple. How is that going to be in terms of the impact and the qualities they can bring for your squad?
Yeah, I mean, of course they're great players, but I think one of the things that they really bring is off the field stuff. I think when you have good vibes in camp, it makes it better on the pitch. So, I think those guys, like you said, Weah is a big vibes guy, and he brings a lot on and off the field. We have Christian back, so I think those kind of guys are really vital to our team. And if we want to have a successful window and successful windows just coming up as well, those kind of guys also need to kind of reestablish themselves and continue with this culture that I mentioned that we created in the summer.
Well, you're a big part of that. And going back to the last World Cup, you missed out due to injury. I believe it was a hamstring injury. How much of that is driving you going in and starting, my opinion, in your very first World Cup here on home soil?
Yeah, I mean, missing the World Cup was, it was devastating for me. But I think it's made me kind of lock in and work so much more harder in this cycle. I don't want that to happen again. And, the world's biggest game being played on home soil, I think everybody wants to play on it. So I'm trying to do everything that I can to be in that starting 11 on the opening day. And, every camp I have to come in here and deserve it and earn it. But that's what I plan on doing.
Chris, do you really realize in this moment, I mean, you talk about the World Cup being home soil, the new generation of American fans that seem to be loving this game called football. I mean, I already know in terms of how you paid back to your home community in terms of loving the game and redeveloping it there. So how seriously are you taking this opportunity of being a role model and embarking on the new generation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of hard to fathom right now. I think when you look back on previous World Cups, you kind of remember certain games or certain players, but I think there's a lot of talk kind of from outside people telling us about how big this is going to be for generations to come. And again, we're in the moment. We're just trying to be there and play, and we're not really, like I said, grasping how big and how much soccer will grow after the World Cup. But I think it's super exciting. I know that I have a little brother who I'm trying to inspire and give him a role model to look to, and hopefully, when it's his turn, he can do the exact same thing. But I think this will be a big World Cup, not just for us, but also for generations to come.
Now, it was a wild summer transfer window for both your U.S. men's national team teammates and your Crystal Palace teammates. How was that to follow and experience, just as someone who knows all those guys really well?
Man, transfer windows are stressful. I mean, I feel like every day I was looking at something new, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, you name it, man. But it was cool that all the boys here got the moves that they wanted. Again, I think it's not just good for them personally, but I think for a collective as a national team, I think it's good to have guys in environments where they're growing and being pushed to be uncomfortable. And so, I think that's been really cool. Also, at Palace, it's there's a little bit of drama on the last few days, but we did what happened, or whatever happened, and we're just trying to move forward with it.
Chris, I'm going to test you with something on the fly. I want to see how good you are in terms of just on the spot, right? You seem like the most composed defender in the league, so this will be normal for you. I want your five-a-side team, right? You can choose the men's national team that you've played with. Of course, you've had so much experience across Europe and now find South London as your home. But if I was to say to you your five-a-side team of all time of teammates, what would you say?
Oh, man.
I'll open it up for you, current and former, if you want it.
I was about to say, you got to go both. You got to go back and forth.
See?
Current and former. Striker, I think, attacking player, since we're playing five, I'd say probably Lewandowski.
Ooh, that's a flex. Okay.
So you
One of those.
You
Go on.
started high?
Started high, yeah. I'd say Eze. That dude does some things I've never seen before on the ball. It's impressive. I would say, again, a little flex. I'd probably say Thiago in the midfield.
I like it.
Yeah, I put myself on the team, and then I would I think I'd put Tim Ream. I think we need a little bit of experience. Now he's my boy, so I think I'll have to put Timmy in it.
So I'm going to pivot over from five-a-side to rival fits. I mean, we were talking to rival fits yesterday, and I got absolutely clowned. I mean, you can kind of tell, right?
He's a dad now.
I'm
That's
a
what it
dad.
I think you look fly. I mean, dads can be fly too.
Hey, appreciate you, man. So, look, who's the U.S. men's national team's Jules Koundé? Because we know his fit game is off the charts. Is it you?
I mean, of course. Other than myself, I'd probably say Timmy Weah. Timmy's also fly.
Okay, best and worst dress. So you go Timmy Weah. Who's the worst dress?
Yeah, I want to know who's getting the pop. This is going to be clipped, by the way. They're going to see this. Be honest. Chrissy, I know you don't lie. Be honest. You're from South London now.
All right, well, it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him a little bit, but I have to be honest, like you said. I think it's not my cup of tea, but I think Tim Ream has a bit more of the dad drip that we were talking about.
I've seen some St. Louis thing. We got Alex
St. Louis. I've seen some rainbow socks.
Thing.
It was a little interesting, but I might have to be Tim Ream.
I like it. Since we're on fits real quick, I mean, look, I know day to day when you come in the changing room, right, it's just a little bit of a competition. Who's the fits inside the Palace changing room? Take me into South London real quick.
Yeah. Maxence Lacroix. He can dress well.
You can tell by the name, innit?
Yeah. See, it just sounds cool.
The way I said Maxence Lacroix.
Yeah, you can tell by the name.
Eddie Nketiah. He can also dress. And Mark Gay, I think he's kind of slides under the radar, but he always comes in something really, really clean, really fresh. So I'll give those three, other than myself again. But I'll give those three.
Oh, man. Well, we go from fits to the question at hand, really the match at hand, and why we have you on here. The team plays South Korea on Saturday. What do you expect going into that match from them, and what are some things the team needs to clean up to have success?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you typically think of kind of the Asian teams, you think of them being well-disciplined, and that's something that, we maybe lack in CONCACAF. When you think of CONCACAF opponents, you think of kind of more of like a wild side. So I think being able to play these kind of teams like South Korea and Japan are really going to test just how disciplined we are, because you have to be just as disciplined. So, I think they're already qualified for the World Cup, so it's a team that's proven in their region, and again, it's just another chance to play a big team and to win another game. So we try not to look too much into it, but we understand that the World Cup draw, you can get anybody. So we're trying to get as many experiences as possible leading into it.
Chris, I know a lot of your value will be intrinsic, but I'm going to tell you what they're saying in the streets. A lot of people are calling you one of the most underrated players because of your growth and your consistency over the last, say, 18 months. Do you see the development in your own game, and how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel confident. I think as a defender, I think, with how the game is now, I think people will talk about, how well can somebody build out of the back? How well can somebody ping a long ball? But at the end of the day, you're a defender. And so if you can do the defensive bits right, that's job number one. And then if you can add stuff on the ball, that's job number two. And so my main task is making sure I don't let any goals in. And whatever else I can do on top of that just adds a little bit more to my value. But I think the biggest thing is confidence. I've had a lot of good games over the last few years, and I just want to continue that. And like I said, I want to be great, not just for club, but also for country.
Mamba mentality.
Well said, Chris. You heard it from the most stylish player on the U.S. men's national team, and the most underrated player in the country right now. That's Chris Richards, USMNT and Crystal Palace defender.